YouTube, this is the Hard Bastard, and to my utter shock, it seems as though after the beating Cenk Uygur took from Michael Tracey when it came to Russia, making him absolutely look foolish, we are now by ourselves talking about Russia, so we can be unfettered in delivering our bullshit propaganda. And, you know what's so fascinating? The Young Turks, MSNBC, CNN, and all the legacy outlets, when it comes to Donald Trump, they have thrown out the entire rule book. There are no ethics. There are no standards. They can say anything that they want. And so I present to you an entire segment based on nothing but conjecture. Now, certainly, Rachel Maddow does this. This is not something new. But it's just so fascinating to me that even when he is faced with evidence that what he is saying is bullshit from the likes of credible journalists like Michael Tracey, he insists on still maintaining this propaganda that not only takes away and ruins his credibility, what little he even had left at this point, that is probably not even the case. He does not give a shit that there are a lot of people that don't view him as credible, but that doesn't matter, because to him, everyone is a Trump supporter, and everyone is just a hater. So let's go ahead and let's watch him build an entire case on conjecture, getting all sorts of facts incorrect in regards to what Trump tweeted, and also the basis for his criticism of Trump is very interesting. You tell me if you think it's professional and something that we should actually view as credible.
Now, a little while back, Donald Trump, in one of his usual midnight fervors, decided that he was going to tweet out in the middle of the night about how Obama was wiretapping him through his microwave or whatever. In fact, here, I'll give you the exact...
very accurate way of presenting it. Yes, that's exactly what he wrote. Good. Very good job so far.
Tweets now. He said, is it legal for a sitting president to be wiretapping a race for president prior to an election, turned down by court earlier, a new low? And then said, I'd bet a good lawyer could make a great case out of the fact that President Obama was tapping my phones in October, just prior to the election. Later, they would go on to pretend that he was just speaking generally. I believe...
You have to decide whether you're going to be a retard or whether you're going to be a normal person. And it's simple as this. Wiretapping, he's talking about surveillance. Only dishonest people who want to try to change the narrative would hold him to a definition. You can go look up the definition. They put it on CNN the other night. That includes telegraph machines. So we're supposed to believe Donald Trump is so stupid that he actually believed that Barack Obama himself went and got the wires and went to a who the fuck uses wired phones, Cenk? Are you fucking serious? And you are pretending? You're the one pretending, motherfucker. Why do you have to be dishonest about this? Why can't you... Look, I understand you hate Trump. That's okay. You don't have to like him. But why can't you, for your viewers, present the case honestly? It doesn't mean you have to agree or even take my position. But why don't you explain to them the definition? Because you won't do that because it's going to make you look dumb. It's not going to make you look honest.
The word he used was fact. The fact that President Obama was tapping my phones.
No, that is not. I mean, you're not even getting. This is so bad that it's not that it's just that he's putting forth a narrative. He's not even getting information about the narrative correct. Did you do any preparation for this part? No, it's the word wiretapping. It's not because he used the word fact. I've never heard anyone argue that. That is not what makes him wrong if you're going to hold him to the definition and claim that he was wrong when they were talking about general surveillance. I have to do your argument for you, you fucking retard. Okay, so here we go. Okay, listen very closely. Donald Trump used the word wiretapping, and by strict definition, there was not an instance where Barack Obama went and got the equipment and went to Trump Tower and specifically tapped Donald Trump's phone. That is the media narrative. Catch the fuck up. It doesn't make sense because he used the word fact. The word fact is not the issue. It's the word wiretap. Come on, man. God damn.
Okay. But, you know, he's a knucklehead, so his advisors...
You are talking about other people being knuckleheads? What?
Saying you should take the president seriously, but not literally, because he's a sociopathic liar. So all this was...
Who the fuck said that? Who has ever said that? What are you talking about? Do you realize you're not supposed to editorialize your news broadcasts? You're supposed to deliver the news? Do you even know what that means? I don't think he knows what it means. He might not know what this means. Now, let's say you're saying, no, this is my channel. I can editorialize. Hard bastard, you you editorialize the fuck out of shit. Okay, fine, I do. I'll call bullshit, bullshit. But I'm a dude. This is supposed to be a news outlet. But let's be charitable. Okay, you're allowed to editorialize. But can you at least get people's quotes correct? You're not even delivering to your viewers the proper quotes so they can understand what you're saying. You're just making them up. How is this acceptable? This is really amazing.
Of course, drivel. It's not true. And where did he get it from? We found out later he got it from Breitbart and Mark Levin. Okay.
That's not true. Breitbart and Mark Levin were one portion of it, but there was also lots of reporting by The Guardian, by the New York Times. Now, I'm not going to hold Cenk accountable. I really assume he made this video before Devin Nunes dropped the bombshell. So we're not going to hold him accountable for that because that's not... Now, of course, they haven't covered it as far as I can see, which is a little interesting. But on the other hand, they're usually like a day or so late. Usually, like the CNN stuff comes out, and then the next day, for some reason, the Young Turks shit comes out. So, okay, fine. But you are not even telling the truth about what sources of information that he was talking about. It's really pathetic.
Okay, bunch of idiots who make up stuff all the time, but the president's an idiot who's also a conspiracy theorist, so he believed them instead of...
So your argument here is that Donald Trump is an idiot, and because he's an idiot, and because some dumb guys wrote some stuff, they're idiots too. This is the lowest level of drivel that I think you can come across. This isn't even... I mean, I don't even know... Would you even call this lying? This is just... It's just not even coherent. Did you ever imagine you would be sitting in your house watching a newsman say, literally, this is what he just argued, Donald Trump used Breitbart because they're a bunch of idiots and they like make up stuff, and so that makes Donald Trump an idiot. That's his argumentation. Oh, I can't wait to see what else is here.
Actually checking with the CIA, the FBI, who are all at his disposal because he's the president. He doesn't even know he's president. That's how dumb he is. Okay.
He doesn't know he's the president. That's how dumb he is. Again, really excellent commentary here. I can't wait. What else do we have next? Is it... Let me guess what your next argument is, or what's going to be peppered throughout this. Donald Trump is a bad president because he's an idiot, and he's a dummy. For reasons. Because of reasons. That's where we're at with this shit. That's how pathetic we are.
One last tweet from him at the time. How low has President Obama gone to tap my phones? Of course, misspelled it. During the... Hey, dude, double check your spelling. You're the president. All right, anyway, but it's in the middle of the night. It's 4:02 a.m. This guy, he doesn't get any sleep. This guy's a lunatic. Anyway, how...
What? So he because he's up late, he's a lunatic? That's not how you're a doctor. You're going to... I knew he's using it as an insult. But like, what... How is news coverage... Donald Trump's an idiot. Donald Trump's a lunatic. Donald Trump, what are you going to do? Start making fun of his hair? Say Donald Trump fucks his daughter? Like, how is this professional? Are you supposed to be professional? Maybe he's not supposed to be professional. I don't know.
How low has President Obama gone to tap my phones during the very sacred election process? This is Nixon/Watergate, bad or sick guy. These are gigantic, heavy charges against the former president.
Yes, they are. They are. That's true. But as was pointed out yesterday, and again, he didn't know this at the time, there's something to them, sir. There is something to them.
But he doesn't realize the consequences of his actions, the gravity of his words, the gravity of his position. It's just like, oh man, Breitbart told me at 4 a.m. I'm going to tweet this out. This guy's sick. Okay. Now,
that's absolutely not what happened. You're completely making that up.
At the time, I did a whole story about why it was, of course, very unlikely to be true. But what he was...
Oh, it was very unlikely to be true. Interesting. Well, it turns... I can't wait to see their coverage on Devin Nunes. That's going to be fascinating to see. And it's funny because he doesn't even understand like the basic talking point from the legacy media that it's the word wiretapping is why he's wrong. I can't imagine what he's going to say when they come out with this video. It's going to be amazing.
Referring to was that there might be a real investigation. But hey, knucklehead, you might not want to point that out because that's an investigation of how you colluded with the Russians. Here's what I said at the time. So this is a very interesting story, but Trump should be a little bit careful what he asks for. If you ask for an investigation into why they wanted a warrant, then you might accidentally release the evidence that they had on you. Oops.
So you're suggesting that they have evidence on you and they are not doing their due diligence to prosecute you on that evidence. They're holding it for some reason. And then by you bringing up your wiretapping issue, that could lead to some sort of prosecution. That's your argument. Do you realize that you are insinuating that there are people in positions of authority that are abusing their authority, covering up for Donald Trump, not prosecuting because they have evidence on him, and then saying that by bringing up the wiretapping, suddenly they're going to decide to prosecute you? What do you mean, told you? What are you talking about? Told you what? I don't understand. What are you saying? What the fuck is this dude saying? Is it because it's early? It's early in the day? I'm not fully in my shit yet? Is that the problem here? I'm not even following this line of argumentation.
Well, here we are at oops. So they bring in James Comey, the head of the FBI, to do a hearing. Because, hey, you asked for a hearing, you got a hearing. So first of all, was Obama wiretapping you? Let's find out.
Director Comey, was the president's statement that Obama had his wires tapped in Trump Tower a true statement?
With respect to the president's tweets about alleged wiretapping directed at him by the prior administration, I have no information that supports those tweets.
Now, words are very important, and you have to understand. He asked him about wires and wiretapping, dealing with actual wires, actual phone, okay? Now, that's what he answered on. He did not answer on general surveillance, okay? Now, if you want to hold Donald Trump to the most ridiculous definition of the word wiretapping, you can do that. I don't think that's honest or reasonable. But what I'm saying is you need to understand that, because people are also taking this the other way and saying Comey just perjured himself after it was revealed that Devin Nunes pointed out that there was surveillance. I don't agree with that because of how the question was worded. Schiff worded that question very carefully, and Comey answered it very carefully. These are masters at legalese. So he did not perjure himself because what we're talking about is general surveillance. What was Donald Trump's campaign or himself monitored or surveilled by the Obama administration for political reasons? After yesterday's turn of events, we have found that that answer is conclusively yes. Because the investigation, there was no investigation for the unmasking on Russia or a criminal investigation. It was calls that the NSA monitors for everyone, and they should not have been unmasked. Excuse me. Anyone claiming that it was just regular surveillance is doing a lie by omission by not saying that they were unmasked what do you say, unethically or wrongly. That's the key issue here. Not that there was incidental collection, but that the people in the Trump campaign were unmasked for political purpose. That is wrongdoing. That is what Devin Nunes is talking about.
And we have looked carefully inside the FBI. The Department of Justice has asked me to share with you that the answer is the same for the Department of Justice and all its components. The department has no information that supports those tweets.
The president accused Mr. Obama and presumably the FBI of engaging in McCarthyism. Were you engaged in McCarthyism, Director Comey?
Try very hard not to engage in any isms of any kind.
Now, it's very important also to realize that there is yet no evidence that Barack Obama ordered this wiretapping surveillance, whatever you want to call it. We do know that he was briefed on it, so he was aware of it, but we don't know if he ordered it. Now, if he did, this is big. If it was some, like, rogue agent who had, like, Trump derangement syndrome and thought he was saving the country, not going to be as big of a scandal. Maybe you might be able to make that argument because Obama knew. It's going to be interesting to see. We just have to find what the details are. But Obama knew. He was briefed on it. There's no question about that. But did he order it? If he ordered it, holy fucking shit.
Including McCarthyism.
His initial charges against Obama, bunk, not true. But wait a minute. What about that idea of getting himself in trouble? Because we then find out there was a real investigation of him colluding with the Russians.
We already knew there was an investigation. I don't understand this issue. He's just confirming what people had suspected. CNN, of course, reports all sorts of shit that's not confirmed. And so now Comey confirmed it. And then they were like, he's confirmed. There's an investigation. Yeah, why are you ignoring the fact that Devin Nunes, I don't know, a week to 10 days ago, confirmed that the FBI told him there was no evidence of collusion? The FBI told him. Now, you can also bring up James Clapper, but what you have to realize with James Clapper is he stopped working at a certain point. But so you can go with that, but the most recent evidence is only from like a week ago where Devin Nunes said that the FBI told him that it was total bullshit because it was based on an article from the New York Times.
Well, let's go to that section of the hearings.
I have been authorized by the Department of Justice to confirm that the FBI, as part of our counterintelligence mission, is investigating the Russian government's efforts to interfere in the 2016 presidential election. And that includes investigating the nature of any links between individuals associated with the Trump campaign and the Russian government, and whether there was any coordination between the campaign and Russia's efforts.
Oops. Now.
Oops, what? I guess, do you think an investigation means guilt? Do you realize there has to be evidence to prosecute? I don't know if it's very hard to tell with Cenk. Is he purposely omitting a lot of this information, or does he just not know it because he doesn't prepare? I have no idea. It's really difficult to tell.
Now we have the sitting FBI director saying there is an official investigation that includes individuals associated with the Trump campaign colluding with the Russian government. Well, now what are you going to do, knucklehead? I'm talking about Donald Trump. You're going to remove James Comey for investigating you?
No. Do you understand? You are saying to Donald Trump that he's being dumb. This is so convoluted. Check this out. He says Donald Trump, he's basically painting a scenario where Donald Trump knows he's guilty of something and mistakenly kind of, beat the hornet's nest on the wiretapping. And then the hornets came out and stung him and saying, hey, there's an investigation. Doesn't the very fact that Donald Trump did that just add to the line? And this was certainly circumstantial. But do you think if he was truly guilty that he would have done this? That's the thing here. But of course, you unfortunately, in your mind, you are biased against Donald Trump. and in your mind you have such a hatred for him that it clouds your judgment, because you are forced to believe through your ideology that Donald Trump is one of the stupidest people alive. And frankly, that's how Donald Trump eats people alive. That's how Donald Trump gets to where he is. Now, I am not one of these people that believes Donald Trump is playing 4D chess. However, he's also not stupid. This whole Trump's an idiot thing, no, that we know is not the case. He is a master of running the media. He's, look, if he's not worth $10 billion, fine, but he is wealthy. He's a wealthy, successful businessman. He has had several bankruptcies. That is all true. But there are basic fundamental facts about Donald Trump that are true, and just because you don't like them, I don't understand why. It's just ridiculous. I feel like I treat Trump fairly. I am honest about the things he does that I like, and I'm honest about the things that he does that I don't like. And I feel like that's a much more reasonable way, because frankly, I'll tell you this, I would hope that if I make a video and I go off about something Trump does and I'm like, this is bad, I would hope people would take it seriously, because I'm not a fucking, I don't have Trump derangement syndrome. If Cenk Uygur got on a video and started screaming about Donald Trump doing something bad, I think you would just assume that this is par for the course, because this is what they do every day.
Well, harder to do that, because he just said it in public that he's investigating you. Then you look ridiculous. Now, none of this had to happen right now and in this way if Donald Trump hadn't tweeted in the first place and demanded investigations. Oops.
What evidence do you have that because he demanded... Oh my God, this is so incredibly stupid. He's arguing that because Donald Trump... Oh my God, you're arguing because Trump made those tweets that the FBI in response decided to investigate you in Russia? That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. What are you talking about? Do you realize how disrespectful this is to the fucking FBI? That you've insinuated that they were holding information on him, didn't prosecute him. Then when Trump called for investigations, we're like, well, we'll show you. We'll investigate you on Russia because we have shit with you on Russia, and now we're going to use it. That is not how this works at all. At all. How did you get to this place? How the fuck did you get to this place? I don't understand. How did I respect this motherfucker? What happened? What is going on here? This doesn't even make sense. Jesus Christ, bro. Like, this is... CNN at least takes information that's factual. For example, they'll take the fact that Paul Manafort had a business arrangement with a person in Russia. That's a factual thing. Then they will conjecture the shit out of it and be like, oh, well, that obviously means that he's an agent for Russia, and that's how Vladimir Putin was able to install Donald Trump as a Manchurian candidate. It's at least based off of something tangible. This is based off of just a complete misunderstanding of how things work. And I'm not an expert in this shit, but I can tell you this is not how the FBI works. What? Let me ask you this. Are you going to put a I told you so with a crystal ball when you cover the David Nunes story? Are you going to throw that out? Oh my God.
I told you.
You told him what? This is completely manufactured in your mind based off of a misunderstanding. This is the second time in like 2 days that someone has created a complete picture based off of misunderstanding how things work. Amazing. I think the other thing was on Twitter. I forget what the first one was. Oh my God. Oh, no. It wasn't based on Twitter. It was the hearing with Gorsuch or whatever his name is. And Stuart Smalley's entire line of questioning was based off of his complete misunderstanding of how the law works. And Gorsuch was just like, yeah, that's not how that works. That wouldn't be a possible scenario. And fucking Stuart Smalley was like, well, yeah, but like I have this book here from Notre Dame that kind of like he read a book. He's talking to, regardless of whether you like Gorsuch or not, and I don't like Neil Gorsuch. I don't like him either. But just because he rules in a way that you disagree with doesn't mean that he's not qualified for his position. That's ridiculous. But anyway, regardless of whether you like him or not, obviously he is an expert at law. So Stuart Smalley thought he could go to a college library, get a pamphlet or a very small book on law, and read right before the hearing and develop a question for this. It was, I'm telling you, it's hilarious. Check the clip out. Gorsuch was just like, yeah, that's not even a scenario that could happen.
Look, one part of the I told you is the immediate one. Don't open up this can of worms. It's going to come back to bite you. And of course, he's an idiot. Didn't listen. The second part.
What can of worms? There has to be worms in the can, dude. There has to be worms in the fucking can.
It is, I told you, there is no great plan behind Donald Trump and his tweets. It's not some brilliant strategy where then, okay, and after he tweets that and he
okay, that's fine. I don't necessarily think that's the case, but what you're painting is not even... How are you talking shit about him? I don't understand.
Diverts attention to this instead of that, and then he's so clever. There's no clever. He's an idiot. It's that simple.
Bro, you're playing yourself like an idiot. You're coming off like an idiot. And if Donald Trump is as stupid as you say he is, you're looking worse than him. What does that say about you?
Okay, so now he recognizes his mistake. Now he's trying to tweet in the other direction. So today, as the hearings are going on, he tweets, the real story that Congress, the FBI, and all others should be looking into is the leaking of classified information. Must find leaker now. And this story's fake news. Everyone knows it.
Well, I mean, they need to find the leakers. That is true. You don't want leakers. They did leak classified information. That's not what you want. Now, again, it's not fair to hold Cenk accountable for the Devin Nunes story. But, they're obviously going to go after the people that did the unmasking here.
Also, by the way, 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, etc. So even before things got started.
So because a person has a sleep schedule that differs from yours, he's an idiot. He's a lunatic. Well, I must be a fucking lunatic then. Actually, I might be a lunatic. But that's, that doesn't mean that people who keep late hours are not capable of doing things.
Because then Breitbart must have told him, hey, sorry about that other thing, because it turns out he's going to say on the record that he's investigating you. You're really screwed up.
What evidence do you have that he's having conversations with Breitbart? How do you even have conversations with Breitbart? Do you mean Mark Levin? Do you mean he's having conversations with Mark Levin? This is dude, Michael Tracey, right in front of your face, spilled Naomi Coates' guts out all over the floor when it came to her using the phrase the Russians in a totally propagandist manner. And you learned absolutely nothing, and now you're doing it with Breitbart. Oh, Breitbart this. They talked to Breitbart. Yeah, he's having conversations with Breitbart. Breitbart's not a fucking person. Who are you talking about? This matters. You are a news outlet. It matters who you're talking about. Excuse me. No, I was not snorting cocaine. I'm a little bit sick.
Don't investigate that. I meant don't investigate. No, what wiretaps?
He didn't say that at all. He didn't say that.
The Russian stuff's fake news. A little too late, Donnie. A little too late. And then he tweets again, Democrats made up and pushed the Russian story as an excuse for running a terrible campaign.
That's absolutely 100% true. That has been proven in the WikiLeaks. There is no question about that. Why don't you, you have Jordan at your disposal. Why don't you ask him about this? That's true. Why don't you say, hey, Jordan, look at this tweet from Donald Trump, because you're not capable of your own research. What do you think of this? Jordan I would hope, and I would assume, would say, well, yeah, there was a WikiLeaks where they were talking about how do we play up this thing with Putin and Russia because we don't really have anything. Oh, let's do the bromance between Russia and Putin because Donald Trump one time said that Putin was a strong leader and a stronger leader than Barack Obama. But no, you don't take advantage of the assets at your company.
Big advantage in Electoral College and lost. So, Donnie, cat's out of the bag. Sad day for you. So now
What cat? What is the cat? What are you talking about? What cat is out of the bag? Dummy, an investigation does not mean guilt. And it doesn't look like anything's coming from the investigation because the FBI has already commented to Devin Nunes and said this story is total bullshit.
We all know there's an official investigation of how you might have colluded with the Russian government.
Do you understand what the word might means? I don't think you do.
By the way, if you're wondering, hey, what's the big deal? Well, there's two sides to a trade. The Russians want Trump in, and you think, well, the other side of the trade is Trump gets to be president. I'm telling you, that might not be the only side of that trade.
What evidence do you have that there was a trade? You can't just make shit up. What evidence is there a trade? What trade? Who is the trade with? What evidence do you have that there was a trade? Would you like it if I said that Cenk Uygur was a rapist? Would you like it if I was like, yeah, you know what, Cenk Uygur, he really didn't want to be a rapist, but you know, buddy, what's that guy's name, John Adiola? Let me just do the same thing you're doing to Donald Trump right here. John Adiola came up to Cenk Uygur and said, you know what, I want you to rape Anna Kasparian. And Cenk Uygur was like, nah, man, I don't want to rape it. And then John Adiola was like, no, let's trade. We'll do a trade. I'll give you something you really like, and then you rape her. And then Cenk was like, all right, I'll do it. And then he raped her. That's preposterous. I have no evidence of any of that. That did not happen. Yet you are doing the exact same thing about Donald Trump. You have no evidence of a trade. You don't know what the trade is. You don't know what the terms of the trade are. And now you're not only do you not know any of this, now you're going to add a stipulation to a trade that doesn't exist. Can't wait.
Because Trump, what does he care about the most? Money. So let's see where that investigation goes.
What does that mean? What does that mean? So now, in addition, Trump's going to get money from Putin? What evidence do you have of this? What the fuck is this? This is not a news segment. This is madness. Are you serious?
And from time to time, they like to quote, and some of our hosts too do as well. James Clapper, for example, saying recently that there's...
Oh, nice try. See, this is a low blow. If I was Michael Tracey or Jordan Charlton, I'd feel very disrespected here because he's not representing their arguments accurately because he's a liar. I don't know. I don't know how I'm telling you, if Michael Tracey ever leaves the Young Turks, I'm going to beg him for an interview. I'm going to email that motherfucker every day. Politely, I'm going to be like, dude, please let me interview. And that's the one question. How the fuck did you possibly work with Cenk Uygur and respect him? I'm telling you, there's no way this is not like, this is complete. If you're a journalist and you take journalism seriously, how the fuck do you have respect for this? This is madness. Now, again, I want to make it clear. I am not saying that Michael Tracey's doing anything wrong by taking this job at the Young Turks. I don't agree that that's necessarily wrong because Cenk Uygur, to his credit, gave him editorial control. Now, does that mean Michael Tracey's likely going to get fired? Absolutely. And I think the other day when he completely destroyed them was the first strike. Because liars don't like it when people tell the truth. And Michael Tracey tells the truth. That's why I like him. So, but getting back to this, you have constantly created scenarios about Donald Trump that you have absolutely no evidence for.
There's no evidence of collusion yet. Well, that's saying, hey, have you finished the investigation and you have hard evidence yet? Well, he hasn't finished the investigation.
Well, yeah, but you're only using one line of their argumentation. That's only one example. Only Jordan brought up James Clapper. What about Mark Morrell? He brought up Mark Morrell. What about Devin Nunes himself saying the FBI said it was bullshit? Why do you ignore that? That is completely dishonest on your part. And now what you just did is you basically misrepresented the positions from your only honest journalists. Outside of maybe that girl, Emma or something, I don't know too much about her. So far, she's fine. I'm not trying to impugn anyone unnecessarily. But everyone else on this channel, they're completely not credible. Naomi's not credible. Grimm, did you see the fucking fake news bullshit he just came out with about Bernie Sanders? And Rachel Maddow used it in a fucking crazy conspiracy theory? Sean King, he's not credible. Anna's not credible. Buddy's not credible. Ben Makowitz. Ben, I wish the internet was only for the elite. The biggest mistake, let me quote him properly, the biggest mistake they made on the internet is let everybody use it. He's not, no, Jimmy Dore. Jimmy Dore's credible. No, there is one other guy, Jimmy Dore. But how the fuck does Jimmy Dore sit there through all this shit? I don't understand. Maybe one day we'll find out. I have no idea.
So saying that there isn't evidence yet to definitively prove that Trump and the Russians had an exact deal doesn't mean that that evidence doesn't exist.
And it doesn't mean that it does. Are you capable of basic thought? Exactly. Oh my God. He is running shit in the absolute opposite. Cenk Uygur is ass backwards. The whole way it works is that when there's evidence, there's guilt. Not lack of evidence means someone could be guilty. Therefore, let's paint this huge conspiracy and talk shit just because we don't like Trump. And we can't put our own narcissism aside and be an objective newsman. How is this an argument? This is the worst. Apparently I've got to watch this debate he did. Someone, when I asked him, have you ever seen this? Someone DM'd me on Twitter and said, check out the Sam Harris debate. He debated Sam Harris. That must not have gone well at all. I don't know. Should I cover that? Should I do like a total fucking, was it that good? Was it something I should like do a video on? I don't know. It happened a while ago.
It means that we have not finished our investigation. By the way, it also doesn't mean that this is the only reason the Democrats lost. The Democrats are incompetent. They lost for 1,000 different reasons. They lost to an orange buffoon who almost any of you, like literally, we could have picked a random dude from in the middle of the country and beat this clown, okay? And the Democrats lost to him for many reasons. So it is not an excuse for the Democrats. Doesn't mean that he didn't also do a deal with the Russians. So now,
oh my God, but don't you understand? Because it doesn't mean that he did, because there's no evidence. You're not supposed to do it from reverse. Oh, this is like, how did you know? Wait a minute, hold on a second. Isn't he a lawyer? Didn't he go to law school? Oh, there's no way he's stupid. Nah. He went to law school, didn't he? Yeah, no, he knows. Nah, there's no way. There is no fucking way he doesn't know that what he's doing is completely inappropriate. No way you went to law school and you don't know how this works. Bullshit.
now, hopefully we'll get to find out because there's an actual investigation.
Yeah, he's playing dumb. He's doing what Don Lemon does. Don Lemon plays dumb. That's what Cenk Uygur's doing. He's not dumb. He knows what he's doing. He's playing the buffoon. He knows he has this kind of MO of being like the, yeah, nah, he knows what he's doing.
Which Donald can't take back. Right, but I'm going to add one last thing here, which is fun, or two last things. One is
fun. Oh, can't wait for this. Fun.
Is they asked Peter King. Peter King's no genius either, but a Republican Congressman from New York.
I love how people who are barely coherent talk about other people being geniuses or not.
New York, but he's got enough political sense to be like, backpedal. Here, watch.
Do you want the White House to drop this altogether? Is it time for them to move on?
Well, I wish the issue hadn't been raised because, quite frankly, this hearing would have been going ahead anyway this week or next week.
He just refuted Cenk's whole... Oh, my God. Cenk's entire argument was just refuted. He put a clip in his video in which it refutes his entire argument about Donald Trump fucking up by opening a can of worms because this was going to happen anyway. Oh my God. How is this real? How is this real?
And we would have been focusing on the extent of Russian influence in the election, which is a real issue. Listen, I think there was something there in the extent that it could have been information that worked its way to the media, worked its way to Democrats that came from either investigations or surveillance or whatever. But to overshoot it by saying that President Obama intentionally did not, I see no evidence.
So what should the White House do now? Should they completely walk it back? Should the President of the United States apologize to his predecessor?
I'm going to get through today's hearing first. I'm not going to tell the President what to do, but I wouldn't have said it in the first place.
Wouldn't have said it in the first place. I told you, there is no grand strategy.
Dude, he just said the hearings were going to happen anyway, and you're still sticking to this? What? Oh my God. Wow.
It's just stupid. So speaking of which,
And you're calling him stupid. Oh, amazing.
in the middle of the hearings, he tweets out, the NSA, and he used the official POTUS account too on top. The NSA and FBI tell Congress that Russia did not influence the electoral process. So since he did it in the middle of the hearings, they then turn to Comey and they go, is that true? Is the FBI saying that they did not influence the electoral process? Comey responds, it certainly wasn't our intention to say that today because we don't have any information on that subject.
Okay, how is that a denial? Yeah, I agree it wasn't your intention to say that. But what do you mean you don't have any information on that subject? How is that a denial? That's, again, masterful legalese. Masterful legalese.
Basically saying the same thing I said just a little while ago, which is, no, the investigation has not concluded. I can't tell you anything about the investigation. If you're asking me for evidence within that investigation, I'm not going to give it to you because we're in the middle of the investigation.
Dude, Nunez, oh my God. Nunez, oh my God. The investigation is about whether or not the Trump campaign colluded with the Russians. Nunez asked Comey flat out if Russia changed any tallies in the voting booths, and he said no, no, no. That's the electoral process. Look up the fucking definition, dude. Oh my God, are you serious? This is like, oh, and you know what's funny about that electoral process thing? If you hold it to the strictest definition, Trump's right. But they're not going to be consistent because they're going to do the looser interpretation of the electoral process and the stricter interpretation of wiretapping.
But if you say, as Trump just did, that there is no such evidence, and I'm saying that, no, I cannot confirm that. Obviously, there's evidence. Otherwise, they wouldn't be doing the investigation. And then you force them to say, yes, there is evidence. I just can't tell you what it is.
Where did he say that? Where did he say that? Where did he say that?
No grand strategy. Just an orange buffoon sitting up in the middle of the night without a clue as to what he's doing.
Bro, you can't even formulate the talking points from the media correctly. Who are you to criticize anybody? Oh, I'm like the stupidity. My eyes were rolling back into my head. Oh, anyway, that was, I guess, his attempt to try to save face after getting destroyed by Michael Tracey. Did not do a good job. I am the hard bastard, and thank you for watching.
He practiced the lizard style. The lizard is a very agile and nimble style. It enables a man to climb like a lizard. Come on.